you're wondering what I'm measuring here, it's the wheel speed sensors, and you know what, we're gonna dig into that a little bit later, but first, it's time for this.
3, 2, 1.
Good day everyone, GarageKing here, and today we're gonna learn about Vdiag Tools VD80 BT for Bluetooth Lite. It comes in a nice case, and it's an 8-inch screen, has 66 feet of Bluetooth range, 4 gig RAM and quad core processor. There it is. It also comes with a nice kickstand for the back. As you can see, I don't like keeping these videos very long if I don't have to. There's your USB for charging. If we open up on this side, we can see there's your power cord and of course your power adapter for the wall. So it does come with everything. One of the things I want to make special note is the actual Bluetooth that goes under your vehicle. Here you can see it's got a USB connection, and what that's for, if you don't have good Bluetooth, you can actually hook it up directly wired to the scanner. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then it does come obviously with a manual. Now here's the manual here, here's a couple shots. It's actually very easy and most people won't read the manual, so let's just skip over that. One thing I'd like to quickly mention is it can generate a PDF report that you can save for reference at a later date. So I thought that was pretty good. Now let's plug it in and let's get it all set up. And if we look over to the side here, we could see that blue ring flashing within the power button. That indicates that it is charging. So I kind of like that. Once you got it charged up, all you do is you put in your email, pick a password, click register, and your 2 years of free updates begin. It's that easy. Now, if we click on the service center right here, we get what I call a help screen. It says we're at your service. This screen, I think you can just learn more about the scanner. And if you have any questions, that's the place to go. Next up, we have the remote control. Now, here's something that's interesting. I've never used one of my scanners remotely. I'm always in the car or around when I'm using them. If anyone has ever used the remote, please let me know, because I'd be curious, because I know a lot of scanners do have that, but I just never have. The one thing I do like about the scanner is its ease of use. Right now I'm in the settings and I found the volume a little bit too loud, so I'm just going to turn the volume down. Now if we go into more right here, we can see we have a few expansion things. There's a small menu here. One of the things that stands out to me is the endoscope right in the middle. Now I don't have an endoscope, so let's just push the button and see what happens. You can see here it installs a little bit of software. If we open it up, it's probably going to look for something we obviously don't have. And there you have it. We do not have an endoscope attached. But the nice thing is the scanner's expanded to have one if we were to purchase one. So let's go back to the main menu. Next up, we can click on special functions right here and see what it does. It's going to bring up a bunch of things the scanner can do. Don't mind the red dots. That's just updates that are required, and I will be doing those very, very shortly. Here you can see we have our basic oil reset, electronic park brake, there's power balance, there is a ton of stuff. There is AC relearn, there's battery. One of the things that I find I really like scanners to have these days is water pump activation. So you can see from Asia we have Hyundai and Kia, but more importantly from Europe we have Benz, BMW, and Mini. And if any of you have seen my BMW how to replace an electronic water pump, this scanner would definitely come in handy. I'll throw up the link if you want to watch it because I do it manually and you can see how much the scanner would come in handy. Here under the manual diagnosis section, you can see we can just pick whatever brand that we want. And it's really just another way to get into the menu if you didn't want to use the auto scan function. Okay, so now it is time to update it. And with an average of 14 megabits per second, I was wondering, is this a fast download speed for this scanner? So you know what? I asked ChatGPT and you know what? It is. It's good for web browsing, email, social media, and it would be good for updates. That's the screenshot you're gonna get once your updates are all done. The vehicle we're gonna use today is a Lexus IS250. So let's plug in the Bluetooth dongle. You can see it is green. And if we wait, once it connects to Bluetooth, it should turn blue for Bluetooth. And there you go, it did turn blue. So let's turn on the vehicle without starting the engine. And you know what? Let's see what the scanner can do, because I know this vehicle has a few trouble codes that must be cleared. So we're gonna try the auto scan function. I press a button, I apologize there for the reflection. Lexus, Scion, or Toyota, this is a Lexus, so we're gonna push this button. Now we're in North America, so we're clicking North America. Laser Cruise or others, you know what? Let's just click others. This one is a 2-wheel drive, not an all-wheel drive. So we get the vehicle information, which is correct. We are going to push the button, and now we get 3 more functions, which is pre-post scan, automatic scan, or system selection. So you know what? Let's try pre-post and see what it does, because I've personally never heard of a pre-post. So I sped the video up 20 times just so you know, because we don't have all day, of course. So I'm going into the ABS computer first. It shows, there are some problems. So I want to see, what is wrong with my ABS? So what we're going to do is we are going to read the diagnostic trouble codes. So let's click on read the diagnostic trouble codes. And it says right here, open or short in front speed sensor left hand circuit. So it turned out to be the left front wheel bearing, and it took a bit to fix it. We had to use the hammer, and this bearing was not the easiest thing to come out. Hopefully I'll have this video out soon. But more importantly, after the fix, the scanner was able to show, you can see there are the readings right there. And by the way, someone else is holding the scanner while I'm driving. This is not me. But you can see here, it's kind of hard to see those numbers. So in this case, a graph would work better. You can put it on the passenger seat, just look over and make sure that all your speed sensors are reading the same, especially when you're in a straight line, and you can record it as well. And there's more than one way to graph it. This graph display I really liked, because as you can see, I'm accelerating. It's very easy to see. All wheel speed sensors should be reading the same unless you're turning. If you noticed just a second ago, I was turning a bit, so that's why they weren't all in line. Now they're in line. You can see I'm going straight, and the scale is changing as I'm accelerating. So I really liked the way the display was. And remember, you can record it and then watch it later if you wish. So now we're going to leave this menu. We're going to go back. We're still in the pre-post scan. You can see at the top, I'm going to hit the back button. We're going to exit, and now I want to do the automatic scan and see what it does. And to my surprise, it's actually very similar as the pre-post. It sort of lists everything out. I don't know if I'm missing something, but it just sort of does the exact same thing. So confirm exit of the automatic scan. Now the last one is the system selection. And what that means is if you don't want to scan your vehicle and you just want to get into one of the computers in particular, you can get into any computer you want. So for example, we were just working on the ABS. So let's go into the ABS system right here. Now we can go into actuator tests. It'll load. And here is all the actuator tests that we can do. So I'll scroll through there. You can pause the video if you wish. I actually hit the slip indicator light test by accident when filming this video. So I thought, you know what? Well, might as well test it. There you can see it's off, and I can toggle the light on and off. So it did work pretty good. Here I went into the air conditioning module. Here we can test our blower motor speed. I had to leave the external audio on, and you'll be able to clearly hear that I am speeding up the blower motor. And now let's pick another one. We can go into the body. What that is that's the ECU that controls a lot of the body functions. This one's usually always a lot of fun because you usually get a lot of actuation tests. So here we're gonna go into the actuator test menu, and you can see, yes, there is quite a bit. Here I found a wireless buzzer test. I wasn't sure exactly what it is. I don't know if you'll hear it. I'll turn up the audio for you. Hopefully you're able to hear that. Here are the door locks. And over here we have the hazards. I'll just go through a few of them really quick. You can see there's your hazards operating. Over here we have some interior lights. So if you want to look up in the sky, right up here, you can see we can operate the interior lights. So that was a sample, and now we're going to move on to the engine because we know we had some fault codes in the engine. Now, if you've heard during this video, we have a big exhaust leak in this vehicle, and yes, it says efficiency of catalyst system is lower than limit. And the reason we're getting those readings is because of our exhaust leaks. You know what, let's clear them. I know they're gonna come back, but let's just see if it'll clear them. It does say erase done, so let's go okay. And now we're gonna wanna go back to the main menu, and you can see there our engine, it's green now. So we got no codes in the engine. I decided to clear the rest of the codes, and the scanner had no issues. You can see everything is green there, so that is good. So now let's get back into the engine module. We'll go back into the actuation tests. One useful test is our cooling fan operation, so let's try that. That's our cooling fan. Next up, let's try our starter relay. No issues there. Now, one of the things I did find that was really cool with this, and I just want to show it to you. Look at these numbers, 1, 2, 3,000. You're wondering what that means. I can actually control the tachometer with this, and we can put it in different positions. So let's see how this looks. Now that was cool. I would have liked to get it to 8,000, but I could only get it to 7,000. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing we can do is the speed as well. And that's not all. Here is the fuel tank. Next up is the temperature. And what's really interesting, we can even check the pixels. So for example, there is the trip. Here's the ECT power. and ECT snow, and up top we can check the pixels for our main display. So I really like that. This scanner had a lot of control with the instrument cluster. One of the things I failed to mention earlier in the video when I was demonstrating the graphing is you can pick up to 8 things at the same time. So here is an example for you to see. I had selected various sensors and the engine's running right now, and I can graph them all at the same time. But what I found was really cool was check the cylinder compression. So I want to check it on the Lexus. Let's see if we have a good strong engine. This test will give you an estimate of your cylinder compression based on a number of factors it collects from the ECU when the engine is running. Now, in terms of monitoring data, we need to monitor the speed of each cylinder. And the goal is they should all be the same or very close, which means they are all equal. You don't want to have one low. So there you see we turned it on. The numbers should change in a second. There they all did. And my cylinder compression is pretty good considering that's the mileage on the car. So my opinion of the Vdiag tool VD80 BT Lite scanner, I really liked it. And you know what? I hope you really like this video as well. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. That's it for now. GarageKing over and out, and I'll see you again soon.